Hey, what's up? It's Sugar from Soundkandy Studio. Today we're taking a look at Audified's U73b Compressor. Welcome back. Right, as I said at the intro, this is the U73b. It's an Audified compressor. I do like this. This is kind of like a flashback video. So we're looking back at some of the software that we may have missed. Now, I have lots of different types of compressors, but I do like the sound of this one. This one's, as I said, by Audified. It's the U73b on the interface, which is very, very nice. It has the bypass button on and off. I do like the way the lights come on and the VU comes on. And we have the input and output, and you can also have these linked, so when you have it in the auto mode and you increase the input, it also decreases the output and vice versa. On the VU meter, you have your input, gain, reduction, and output. Nothing special there, so that's very simple. So I always say this: if you're new to music making, you should not be confused with this. Simply on the rotary encoders for the input and output, they simply have a digital readout at the top here, and then on this key input section, you can have individual left, right, or left plus right, which obviously sums both left and right channels on a stereo channel into a mono channel. Then you also have your sidechain. I stuck this on a drum track at the top and a Vox track in the middle. So let's go and have a look at that. One thing about the color, this is, if you remember the older version to this, you couldn't change the language. Now you can change the language, and you can change the UI colors as well. So we're going to play this is on the Vox, so we'll listen to this and see what this sounds like. Let's start in the bypass mode, and let's jump this into where the vocals actually start. So this is in the bypass mode. Let's bypass. So what we can do is we can take the input down to try and match the levels on the track. There we go. Bypass once again. Now on this particular track, I've actually just selected a lead vocals. Let's go down to the lead vocals and see what that sounds like on there. We'll jump this back a tiny bit and see what that sounds like. We'll start off in the bypass mode. Now, this isn't obviously the cleanest vocal because this is a lo-fi track, but you should be able to get some semblance of what this is sounding like. So we'll go in the bypass again. Now, I do like this. Now, if you're new to, I'm still trying to figure out who the exact constituency of people looking at the videos I'm putting together. So whether you're a bit more advanced or whether you're just starting out on the music, if you're not using a compressor, you really need to, even if you start with the stock plugins that your DAW comes with, you really need to get into using compressors. Let's go on and listen to the one that we've put on the drum section. So you can see these colors here. Do you remember I said you can change the UI colors? You can simply change these. Now, I understand in some DAWs, this changes to the color of the track automatically. It doesn't in Studio One. So let's go to the one on the drums and let's see what that sounds like. I have changed it manually. To change it, just simply go down and go to set UI color, and then you have this color wheel and color slider, and then you can just change it to anywhere. The reason for excuse me. The reason for changing it is that if you have a huge amount of them open on a window, you can tell which one's which. So we'll do it like that. Okay, so let's listen to the drums. Let's start that off in the bypass mode and we can hear what that sounds like. So in the bypass mode, let's solo the drums for a second. Let's engage the plugin. Once again in the bypass mode. Engaged. Now, sometimes in the studio world, it's these tiny differences. Sometimes, even when I'm in the studio with someone else, and they're making very subtle differences, and they're adding 2 or 3 compressors into a track, I can't always hear it. So sometimes it's difficult to hear it, especially on YouTube, and especially if you don't have a set of studio monitors or some headphones on. But believe me, this has got a really wonderful sound to it, and I really do like this. Now, remember I said that these two, you can link these. So let's have a look when we increase the input on the compressor here. We can see the decreasing in the output. So obviously we would have it somewhere at least about 8 dBs. Let's bypass. Engage. Let's hear it in the track. Now, I've got my headphones on, but I can really hear a huge difference in the engage mode and when we bypass it. It's a really wonderful, warm sound, and I really do like this. Let's quickly take a look at the input. So if we have it on the input slider, so just take a look at the meter here. We're still on the drum, so we'll just look at the VU on the input. And we'll take a look at it on the gain reduction. And we'll take a look at it on the output. So if you also take a look at the ballistics meters here, we're just almost clipping, so it's doing a good job. So if you haven't seen this plugin before, and many of you would have seen it before, but if you haven't used it recently, I definitely suggest that you get this one out and take a look at it, because it is a really nice sounding compressor. I really do like it. And one of the features that I didn't mention was the high pass filter up here, which I'm not using on this track particularly because it doesn't need it. But yeah, this is the U73b. It's by Audified. I will leave a link in the description as to where you can find this and where you can find more information. Thank you for watching. I will see you again shortly. Take care, be safe, goodbye for now.